Had it. I am the man. What the plan? From Stan. You'll say you take this away. Yes. Give me this.
So I want to share this video, or not this video.
Yeah, share what?
I didn't share with nobody, and I just found like the answer key. It tells you what to do and how to claim your real property.
Oh.
This thing is like, these books are like the coolest books I think I've ever found. Like, it's checklist general forms.
Hey,
Hi.
I feel like we've been on like the same like wavelength when
I swear, I was just thinking that because I was just watching your video
oh my
and I was like,
gosh.
man, I swear.
Just in like what book is that? Is that the same book from your recent video?
No, but it's the same set. It's Kentucky Legal Forms. This is on titles, real property checklist, and general forms, real estate transfer, and financing.
I swear because like I paused video because sometimes when I'm hearing something versus reading it, I get two different, And so I paused the video to read it, and I swear it felt like I was reading American Jurisprudence because they talk about the transfer of property when you're doing claims when it comes to equity court.
Right. It's so funny because I just got an American Jurisprudence book in the mail yesterday.
Oh, bless your heart. Those things are very long, and people are like, oh, it's only 1,200 pages. Yeah, well, it's like Romeo and Juliet love language, mixed with legal ease, and a little bit of English. So, yeah, it might
This
only
book,
be 1,200 pages, that's a pretty long book to me. I don't know, but
this book is 1,700 pages,
oh
and it's one
no,
of those removalex binders.
that's long.
So I can like pull the forms out of here, scan them,
Oh, that's cool. And then
and
it
then
can,
put it back because it's like a binder too.
oh, that's kind of cool though.
But this, like, I've never seen the checklist for transferring real property.
I'm gonna see if Georgia has something.
It says, it's so funny. It's information as to parties. So, like, who is involved in the transfer, identification of parties. So, like, their EIN numbers is how I'm taking it. Natural persons, and then full Christian and surname of each party, and any other name before marriage or divorce. Then corporations, if a party's a corporation, list them. And then it gives me like all the codes that I would use for each thing, like bank and trust company, building and loan association, all that.
And it's the codes based off Kentucky.
Yeah, this one is.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it also, I think in the back, I can go and like either I can look in the back or you can just Google it online for your state based off of this code from Kentucky.
What's the code?
For this one, for which one? Bankers and Trust Company? Here, hold on. Let me show you what I'm looking at.
Oh, I see. It's like the KRS. I think that's what that says.
Yeah. So I was just reading over here talking about the identification of corporations and all that.
What's the name of the postal bank again?
Well, this is just out of like This would just be to take control of your legal estate, like your estate, your real property that's waiting for you to come out of the minor. Which, I mean, you're already there, but
Wait, so are you doing that in addition to like all the acts and treaties, or is that like a before after situation?
I think this is really, I mean, I've done my 56s and then my power of attorney and my letter of non-decedent and some FOIA requests. That's it. That's all I've done so far. And I can just, really what I want is to get what my family, you know, the land and stuff that my family had. Everything's in the soil, everything's in the water. Like, I want those rights.
Or really be the online account we need to create for the postal banking. Are you talking about the Gateway account?
It's a Postal One account. So yeah, it is a Gateway account, yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it's through it.
Yeah, and then you can go in and like you assign a schedule, just like you have a fee schedule for your trust. I mean, it is a trust account, so you would assign that fee schedule and you would put all your bills in that. So what I was reading earlier, it was saying that you like, so the publication, how I've been getting all like confused on what to do with the certificate of ownership and the publications and stuff. What it is you are going to perfect your trust document. And you do that by, you know, writing it all out. And what I'm noticing is that on like every document that I have, there on the line, it has freaking letters, the micro lettering.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned it last night on live. I just literally could not have I didn't have the eyes to see it.
Well, everything I've seen, I had my little 11-year-old daughter. I'm like, do you see this?
That's crazy. So whoever gave it to gave you their template, basically.
Well,
they
but
put
it's
it
from
there
different
as the
people. That's the
document.
thing. Like, I've had some of these templates for 2 years, and some of them I've had a couple days. Like,
That just sounds so wild to me.
yes, and like one of them, I was doing a trust document offline, like one of the templates, and it was on there. But they're all from different places. It's not just one place. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Oh, that's
is
so weird.
crazy.
That's so like I don't even know how someone does that, to be honest, but I'm just not savvy like that. I wouldn't have even thought of that, to be honest, to put that
Right,
on.
but somebody yesterday was like, "Well, can't we use that to our advantage?"
Well, do you know what it says?
Well, it's like authorized user or something like that. That's what. Well, at least that's what it says on checks.
Or yeah, representative or something.
Yeah, something like that. But I don't know. I can't see enough to even know what it says.
Like you'd need like a magnifying glass.
And we have one of the little ones like that you get from the dollar store with the light on it, but it's not really doing much.
Yeah, it sounds like someone's trying to set up some secret contracts.
But I'm telling you, like, I've had some of these documents for a long time, and I didn't get them from the same people at all.
Makes you wonder like how many other people didn't notice that.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
God, I feel like I need to get up and check my paperwork.
I would.
Yeah, Julia's.
Not that it's
telling you,
gonna
like-
make a difference anyways. It's not
I
like
am handwriting my shit out from now on, and I'm not even going to use the lined paper. It's going to be on, like, I guess, bond paper. But then again, I'm like, man, maybe I want to make my own paper too. Shit. They're trying to screw us every way they can.
I mean, to be honest, I don't even think the non-decedent letter really does much. I don't know. I'm just
The reason I think it does is because they have us lost at sea. So I think by doing the couple things that I have done, and I could be totally wrong. I don't know. maybe it's the way I'm doing it though, because I am putting a stamp and canceling the stamp on everything that I'm sending, and I'm putting my fingerprint on it and signing through that, which would securitize it.
I thought it just pays the taxes.
Well, whenever you put your fingerprint and your signature on it, though. Oh, and I forgot to tell you this part. What I'm doing is I'm going to mail it international with a return receipt. And I'm going to have all my stuff in there, like my trust document, and I'm going to insure it. And when I get it back, it'll be perfected. And then it'll be suretized.
Okay, I just pulled out my I just pulled out my letter, and to be honest, I cannot even tell if it's a regular line or if
I
there's.
had to get my phone and then like steady my phone and open up my camera and zoom in and
Let me go get my other phone. So I can see
like that's what I had to do. But I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but
it out too.
I know I'm not. I know y'all saw it in my video. Like it was real. It was there.
Don't know if it's the gardening or if it's like my eyes. Let's turn on our heavy duty flashlight.
But then again, I'm like, I've been hearing a lot of people like having their like radios and shit talk to them. I'm like, what if they're just trying to make me look fucking nuts.
Yeah, I was tripping. It's a line.
On a couple of them, it's really writing. Like it truly is. I know that. Like I just can't make out what it says.
I only have a line at the signature. I don't have lines anywhere else.
Most of the stuff that I have, like I've written out myself.
Yeah, it's way better to just handwrite that stuff than to just type it out is what I'm learning. Because like that, what other way to tell you I'm alive than in my actual handwriting?
Yes, that was what I was thinking anyways. Like
I think it might be better in cursive, but honestly, I get really confused when I'm writing in cursive. I forget what I'm writing and then it just turns into just nothing.
Well, I think when we write in cursive, it's a spell.
It's a curse. It's a curse.
It's a cursive. Yeah, it's a curse. Like, I don't know.
But they used to do that for all the stuff back in the day, like the land patents, the deeds, the marriage certificates, the census, like everything. I don't know. When I was searching my ancestry tree, like I can't even read that stuff because it's in cursive. I don't know if that's on purpose or what. I don't really remember, but
I think so. Like, I can't read it either. I'm trying to look at these land patents, and I'm like, what in the hell does that say?
Shakespearean.
Like, it's not even that. It's like
2 yolks and a fucking
the handwriting though is just so.
2 yolks of an oxen.
Yeah, I'm reading some of that shit earlier. It was like 2 yolks of an oxen.
It's a form of payment. Man.
What the heck? And where's my dictionary for that shit?
oh yeah, but I feel like that was like back in the day before it was like super like advanced to like leave more than just like money or coins. Because I was reading on Ancestry, there's a lot of wills that are left from like newspaper articles, and it's like, oh, I leave 4 cattle to my mother-in-law or something like that, and it's just like, okay, cool.
But some of that stuff, like, yeah, they didn't have a whole bunch, but then again, they did. Because have you ever looked at the mansions that they used to have in New York?
They used to have a lot.
Like, the buildings that they used to have back in like the 1800s were freaking the stuff that.
When did that Zeppelin burn down?
I don't know.
You want to find out? The
No.
big Zeppelin, the big blimp. That burned up?
I don't
That was
remember.
a long time ago.
Oh, I don't remember. Oh.
I think that shit.
But I don't know.
Can you change the configuration of the box? There's people wanting to join the live.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know if I can even do that honestly from my screen. Awesome. Just in case anyone wants to share anything.
I'm not going to be on too long tonight. Not going to be no 4 o'clock in the morning night, but I wanted to get on, and I don't know, these books are cool. I've been stuck in them. Oh. How are you, Lee? How are you, Amanda?
Good.
Good. How are you?
My letter. I heard you talking about cursive like y'all can't. It made me feel real old.
I can read cursive, but what I'm saying is the way that they wrote it,
Yeah, it was
They're-
also scrolly.
it was like calligraphy almost, and it was just,
Old English.
yeah, that broken old English, hard to read.
Yeah.
Extremely hard to read. I had a fourth grade teacher back in the day who, she was a social studies teacher. She made us write every single thing in cursive. So I'm over here like, can't pass the grade, not because I don't know social studies, but because I can't read or write in cursive. It's crazy. Only teacher ever to teach us cursive. Haven't used it since, except for signing my name. Crazy.
I don't think other than signing my name, my husband used to write me letters in cursive, and I used to yell at him for it. I could read them, I just didn't like to. It took more effort.
I think that's sweet. I think cursive is a beautiful handwriting. It just doesn't come to me easily. I be having to like look up the letters, like how to even draw them.
It's just a lot more work. Like,
But I can do it.
do what?
Some of them are sigils. Like a sigil. Do you know what a sigil is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan zet hij anders. Uitvinken, maak je.
Oh. So.
I shared the live to Sloan, so I don't know if she'll come out.
Lately, did you see Josh's?
Yeah, I just looked at it. What are your thoughts on the ES in Vietnam? I miss truth. Damn. You know what, Josh? I don't know because, okay, so I talked to a friend of mine today, and she said that she actually was on the phone with an IRS agent, and she had even asked about the Bs, about the ES, and things like that. And the IRS agent, because I said something to my friend, I was like, look, I said, I'm getting real big conflicting stories because when I listen to Kimmery, I feel that high vibration, like, yes, hell yeah, let's do this, you know? And then I'll get on somebody else's live and they're like, no, don't do that. You're going to jail. You know, it's like, I don't know. I want to stay high vibrational and think that everything that we've learned and everything that we've studied and read and just research and development, all the things is true. And then also all the like IRS agents that have, you know, give us confirmation that yes, talk to us. Yes, you know, let us help you. Yes, all the things, right? So I feel like when I listened to Kimmery, like I am pumped. I am walking on water like Jesus did, you know, like, but then whenever I listen to other ones that are like, no, don't. So I'm real conflicted, Josh, but at this point, I'm walking on water because I've even spoke to IRS agents too that are like, no, you guys really like contact us. Now, sometimes it's hit or miss because sometimes I get the new girl that has no clue, you know, but then other times, you know, I do get people that are like, no, like just ask questions, like, you know, anything. And she did ask about the ES and the V, and that lady confirmed to her that yes, that's a thing, that's for trustees, that's for, you know, so it made me feel good. I actually like choked up a little bit, cried with her because I was just like, see, I know that this is like, it just all makes sense. We are the trustee. We're something to that name that they gave us, you know, so Hey, Starseed, I can't see any of the comments. Is it you have white
Here,
on
I'll
white?
change it. Hold on.
I mean,
But it's like I feel good about it, but then
I was about to ask that.
you know what? I'm gonna just run it.
Sometimes you just have to block out social media. Like I go in these like self-isolation time periods where I'm like, I need to block out everything on social media because I'm gonna get distracted. So
Yeah.
sometimes I will avoid going live or going on lives just because I can't deal with outsider opinions and suggestions and guides and whatever. So
Yeah.
as long as you feel like you're moving in good faith and you can stand on whatever you send, just do that.
I think as long as you send a letter of intent and you, you know, void where prohibited and like put all of your, I think we have done the research enough. Like you get in trouble whenever you go doing stupid shit. Whenever you,
Like taking a negotiable instrument into the courthouse? No.
right? Like
What the fuck is that?
we do better when we know
learn.
better.
I had clean hands and good intentions, though. It wasn't, I really thought that I could do that. We walked in there with her chest out, boys and girls.
You were standing on business, okay?
And they were too when they arrested me.
They were just following the protocol they know.
But there's got to be some equity in there somewhere for you. So
Yeah, I'm writing my letter right now. I don't want to talk about it too much, but
I did that earlier with PayPal.
You did who?
I wrote a letter to PayPal to their legal office.
Oh, good. You know what I saw today? I saw my little micro deposit.
Did you? Good.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Go ahead, Lee. Tell us about it.
You don't say.
That's good.
Wait, Elena, do you have an? Sorry, I'd be feeling so weird saying Elena. Probably never met another Elena. I swear. Do you have any updates with like your Postal One account or anything that's going on that you want to share?
Well, the post office has been a pain in my butt. They've definitely given me a run for my money for sure. Like it's been a battle because whenever I first got the account and I had overdrafted the account and it was stuck like that. They wouldn't like let me pay it with anything really. I was like, here, I'll give you a money order. They're like, we don't see your account. And I'm like, it's right here. I'm showing you, it's right here. I'm like, we don't see it. And I couldn't get my bank account to put the money in there. So it was a struggle. But yeah, what I figured out is there's these penalty stamps that you have to officially legally become the postmaster of your private post office, where you can order your stamps and you can order all of your mailing and shipping supplies because you're running, a business. And you get these penalty for private $300 stamps. I've got a picture of them.
Stamps, the ones that the IRS uses.
So you get those whenever you become your own postmaster, like officially, legally. And that's where I think you can remit your bills. I don't know. It's a lot easier when you get to that point where you become your own postmaster, but it's just like your fee schedule. Like you have to put your trust on the record, and that's your certificate of ownership. And that would include your fee schedule. And then with that fee schedule, it would have all the bills listed that are going to be paid out of the account.
I'm assuming the name has to match whatever the name is on the box.
It has to match. They have to be on the box in order for them to be able
Oh, yeah, it has to. You got to do a change of address with all your bills, I guess.
And it's got to be the P.O. box. It can't be a home address. It has to be a P.O. box because you place the caller service on it.
But it's not just like a regular PO box because technically that's still in the venue of the military jurisdiction. So it would have to be like after you've established postmaster and some, I don't know how to word it, but like establishing your status with the post office, I guess, to get the proper box.
How are we in military jurisdiction?
Absolutely, we are right now.
So I'm asking you how.
The zip code, the address.
Y'all, I filed a, I did a change of address, and then I did my letter of non-decedent, and I did my 28, 48s, and my 56s, right? Well, why did I get a letter from the IRS and my zip code is like, hold on, I wrote it down because it was so weird.
It's the 8-digit zip code?
It's 4010800000000.
Never seen it before. Not
Never.
that many zeros, at least.
There is 6 zeros at the end of that.
Any brackets or periods?
No, it's just one long.
Huh.
And I have a 93 number now.
93.
Right.
Oh, for like an EIN?
Yes. I've heard of.
Is that your DBA?
No. That's the trust.
Revocable?
Actually, I don't know what that is because I didn't make it.
Who made it?
It was on the IRS form with this new zip code.
Is it a CP 575?
No, it's just, I don't know. This was a.
Good night, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
It was IRS 202201, maybe?
0220. Is that Washington? I don't know.
You could just look those numbers up, those 2-digit numbers, and it tells you exactly what it is. But the 93 number is a higher class of 98 number.
It says SB. What's SB?
No idea.
Yeah, but I hadn't even sworn in yet when that happened. Not when I saw that.
And you're saying you got that in response to sending the 56 and 56F to the department?
And I sent out my letter of non-decedents to,
The area code that you have, how many numbers you see on there
there's,
with the 0, the placeholders?
there's 6 zeros, but one of them,
How many numbers before the 60?
5.
So now that's the account number mixed with the routing number.
Why though?
Because you have an account set up with them. Some way you have requested an account.
And 93 though?
And that area code, that's not actually a zip code. You're in an area code jurisdiction.
Wait. I did not mean to cut you off, Big Wayne. Keep talking.
And say no more.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, there's your update.
So if she's not in the zip code and she is in the area code, what does that specifically mean?
So if you go in the postal treaty, I can't tell off the top of my head right now. One of them I was reading, it tells you about the difference between the zip code, the area code, and the postal union code. So they both hold different jurisdiction. They all three plays different parts. One is like a next level to the other. So area code is always a next level to the other, which is a zip code. The zip code is under, I think, commerce, military jurisdiction.
Yeah, it's military. Hold on, because I got
But
another.
she has 5 numbers, so she has 6 numbers. 2 digit, the two first digit is an identification number, and then the other 9 digit is the account number.
Wait, are you talking about like one of those ISIN numbers that they use in banking? Like the first 2 digits would be like whatever letter falls on the alphabet to get
Yes,
the country. Oh my
yes.
gosh, that's crazy.
So under the postal union, remember the IRS. Remember if you pull the UPU treaty books where it tells you about the stamps, you realize in the first part of it it says IRS, Internal Revenue Service. So that should tell y'all a lot. When you read the first part of the book, it tells you about the Internal Revenue Service. And it tells you how much part they play in it. So now, if the Internal Revenue Service plays a big part with jurisdiction, because anytime you're dealing with the post office, you're dealing with jurisdiction, it tells you a lot about what's going on.
Yeah, that just blew my mind, honestly.
That's why I really don't want to, because it's all up to do with the level you're at. And when some people start tapping into certain level, they start seeing certain things change.
That's crazy because I studied that part of banking, like, or securities. I don't even remember. It's probably one and the same a while ago. And I just never understood why people charge what they charge to look that number up. But yeah, that's crazy.
You get it. There you go. It's a lot of money to look those numbers up.
It was way more than a Q set. Jeez.
Because you're dealing with the account and they usually don't send out the account. It's just like one of my court case a while back when on my document, usually they don't tell you that it's an account number. It on my document, it came to me from the state attorney general as an account number. And I was like, I called them and I asked them to make sure that they put the right words on it. Like, do you know that you're titled this number as an account number? And they said, well, let me look up the form. And they looked the form up and they realized that they sent it to me as, and they said, yes, because of your status that you hold. And I was like, okay.
Wow. That's crazy.
Now I have a question.
Go ahead.
So, since you're not a U.S. citizen, on your birth certificate, does it call you a sovereign already?
No, mine just says the bank that I'm under, and I'd have to look at it again, but it tells me the bank that I'm under and the account number that I could go pull the funds from.
Gotcha.
So basically, like, I have the like what I need, like execute.
Repeat?
So basically, I have like what I need to like execute.
Yes, you do. I've been saying that you've been putting a lot of information. Yeah, you've been putting a lot of good information online, from the books that you've been posting, from what you've been posting on your YouTube. I have a lot of information, as I say, right? And I was told by somebody that is in I status. You just need to pick one process and just work it.
That's what I've been doing. I haven't been going a whole bunch of different directions.
Yeah, and from the direction you're going in, the process that you're dealing with a higher level of process. I don't know. It could only be a higher divinity led you in this path. That's all I'm gonna say, because
Has to
it
be
took
'cause
me a while to get to this part, and I'm still not touching some things because some things just feels like, like some things just feels like if I touch this, I'm wondering if they're gonna give me a contract that gonna lock me into it.
that's why I'm writing my own shit.
But you
When
do want to touch this process that you're on, Star. It's an amazing process. When you come out on the other side, you're like, okay, there you go.
can we go over our UCC code together?
UCC code,
Yes.
which one?
UCC 9-313, when possession by or delivery to secure party perfects security interest without filing.
And what you need to understand from that?
I just want to get your take on it, if you've ever been through it, or anybody's take on it.
Can you read it again?
It's when possession by or delivery to secure party perfects security interest without filing.
So now, if you have a mortgage, what does that tell you?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
No, read it again and think about you having a mortgage and you being the original creditor. Have you ever asked that question to any one of your card holders?
No.
You need to ask that question. And then when you ask that question, read that same code again. And then you understand that you need to speak to the lending team, because anybody else you're talking to, they're not going to understand what you're talking about because they're not the lending team. You get what I'm saying? They're not in that rank to understand what you're speaking. The language you're speaking is foreign to them. So now with that code and you understanding that you're the original creditor, which makes you the original security.
Right. So, I'm just backing that off to ask you this, right? So what about the birth certificate?
It is a security, right?
Correct.
Okay, if it's a bond, it's a security.
Correct.
But there's a few more bonds that's supposed to go with that. A few more paperwork that goes with that. That's the evidence of the debt. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So now, if that's the evidence of the debt, what are the paperwork to get us to the other side of the recuperation? That's what we need to figure out.
You use the perfected negotiable instrument that you
Exactly, a perfected negotiable instrument. And as I said, I said it a lot of time, but I don't think anybody's listening to me. But I said it on the call a lot of time. A payment bond,
Bid bond,
bid bond,
performance.
a performance bond. If you add that to it with an executor deed and you do a reconveyance, attach the non-deceding letter, you do a survey of the property, which is real property. Real property is real estate. You are real estate because you are real property. They trade you on the stock market. So now, if they're trading this name that my parents created
They didn't
for the
create
benefit
that.
of me,
They
which is
created.
my real property, which is my real estate, they gave me a certification of title. Shouldn't I go and get this thing proper securitized?
Yes, but I have a question with that. See, now I'm back to the. I'm gonna keep coming back with the name. So if you're gonna come back with a proper document, don't you got to correct the name on the document from a business to a living person?
well
That's
you would send
that's
it.
that's the private side. I agree with you because I've done it. So that's the private side.
And that makes you the superior title holder, which means they can't rebut it because they're all debtors.
So now, if we're talking about private, you could do it however way to pull yourself from the system. You get what I'm saying? But on the public side, if you're gonna talk about UCC, that's public.
No,
That's
yeah.
commerce. So I don't want to mix public and private. So now doing a correction of the name, becoming the testator, that's private.
What if you just go ahead and collapse the trust in on the all caps?
You cannot collapse
You can't
something
collapse
that you
it.
didn't create, but you could pull from it.
You only have a beneficial
can
interest in the
liquidate it.
trust.
You only have beneficial interest. Thank you.
True. Because it's just like the birth rate.
It's just an account that you have the right to go pull the funds after you do certain.
I'm just gonna authenticate with my fingerprint and send it international with a return receipt, and then
You could do that. You could do that any way you feel to get the funds from it. But I'm the type of person, I like to do it in a way where, like, I let them know that I know what games they're playing and I know what route to take whenever I'm coming. You get what I'm saying? Because now if I use a 56, make the clerk the fiduciary over that birth certification, which they're gonna put it through the court. Now this is where the private and public would mix a little bit. So now if I put it through the court and the clerk of court is the fiduciary over that document, it makes them surety over that document. So now if I have a issue with my mortgagee, which I'm doing, all I have to do is go to the record and provide the documents that I've put on the record. So now, if anybody else doesn't have anything on the record concerning that document, because my UCC1 and UCC3 is going to stand.
but my thing is, what if my thing? So what if okay, my thought here, and I don't know if this is even a valid thought, but this is my logical thinking here is, what if I was thinking of taking all of my trust information, all of my 56, 128, all of that stuff, and I'm going to certify, register, send that, and I'm gonna do the international with my return receipt, and then all of that is certified, registered, so therefore it is on the record, because anything that is been registered is on the record.
But it's on one record.
It's on the big record, the main record.
Yeah, but usually so we have to understand that they don't do their job. We can't expect them to do their job because they have not been doing their job.
But
They will not go to the main record to pull those records, because you're talking about the post office, which is a department. Usually, the office do not like to go pull the record from the post office. They just like to use them.
All right, then I'm gonna send it to the post guy.
Now, when you send it to certain people, it gets certain thing done. You just have to stand in faith, knowing that, hey, this is what I'm intended to do, and I'm gonna send out my intention to them. I'm gonna notify them and ask them the procedures of, if I send this document, what are the next steps I need to take to get you and me in agreement. Because we might send these documents out and we have not seen anything in return. But the way I'm talking about the birth certification, as I said, you can endorse it, do a restricted endorsement on it, but I rather do a mortgage on it, because now when I put that up on my trust with a perfected security and a perfected lien at so much credit. Now, if you're saying you are the holder over this document, prove that you are. And if you are, and you need this document from me, now you have to pay me off to get this document back. Because I owe superior title to it. Because I have the lien.
So what about the stuff that I originally talked about opening my trust account with?
Repeat?
The stuff that I originally talked about opening my trust account with, the body of the trust being the red box stamp, the silver coin, and the federally registered dollar bill claimed.
I couldn't hear you, sorry.
So the stuff I was originally going to use as the body of the trust, the red box stamp.
Okay, yeah. So you're talking about trust. If you could still put those documents up on the trust. I'm not saying you can. Now, remember the role of the trust. What is the role of the trust?
I'm not talking about the documents. I'm talking about the coin and the specific things I wanted to use for their
Okay.
jurisdiction.
Oh yeah. So the jurisdiction claim, the stuff that you're putting up on the trust, right? The coins and stuff, right? So now those stuff, all you have to do is go get them. The word I'm looking for,
Praised.
appraise. Get an appraisal for it. Get an appraisal of all your asset that you have, and that document is gonna serve as a contract to your asset that you hold under trust.
Okay.
Because they're dealing with paperwork. Remember, they're not dealing with the asset. The asset is the asset. It's just like the birth certification. The asset is the asset. But if you don't add the other proper paperwork with that asset to go with that asset, they can't know the intent of those assets.
So what do I do with a bond, or like a savings bond?
A savings bond. What is the purpose of a savings bond?
To save the bond?
Exactly. That's the purpose of a savings bond. So now if you tie that savings bond with the appraisal document, you're bonding that asset.
Oh shit.
Okay, I have a question then.
It's all in the words they're using. You have every book to tell you. You have the American jurisprudence.
I read all the time.
Yeah, I know.
Wayne, I have a question.
You should have been the teacher on this right now, firing off these things.
I'm learning.
Yeah, I know. I know you are, and you're quick too. So I know you get it when I just said it.
Big Wayne, is that why we need the Holy Trinity in terms of like the trusts to kind of.
Exactly. Because now remember, the other two trusts is going to be the benefactor of the banking trust.
And that's so we can be in the private and in the public, right?
Exactly. So now you're understanding that they're playing the same game you're doing. They're in private, but they're still operating in public. You're going to be in private, but you're operating in public. How you're going to be in private? Because you're up under the private trust that is a benefactor of a banking trust, which is in public.
Okay, so right now, all I have is a trust with my EIN, with my all caps name, revocable trust. So the other two I need to set up. I think you said it was last time it was like the LLC, right?
So the other two you're going to set up is what type of trust you have?
Right now, I just have a revocable trust with my all caps name with the Latin title. And that's all I have right now.
Okay, with an all caps name, a Latin title?
Yes. Yep.
So your all caps name is, what is the role your all caps name playing?
I am the grantor.
Okay, so you're the creator of
Yes.
that. So is that just private or is that just a ministry?
I think I put it under administrative right now because I knew that I was going to try to set up the other two and follow that rule. because I
Okay.
know like even another person that was on here last time that what she was saying, and I'm not gonna say her name just because I don't want to throw her under the bus. But I don't think she's on here right now. But she was saying also like, because then you can also one will back up the other, right? Like the LLC backs up the other trust, and it's and you're putting like your all caps name in the LLC. It's kind of like you're triple backing yourself up, right? One claims the other, and the
Exactly.
other claims.
Exactly. So now with that ministry's trust, if you do it as a convention, and I got that from Grayman, if you do it as a convention, you get a EIN number that is tax exempt. You
Yeah,
get
it's
what I'm
tax
saying?
exempt.
So now
I'm a
that
minister too.
that help you to be in public and not pay these turf tax that they have. So the process of doing all of this is to play the same game they're playing. You get what I'm
Yes.
saying?
It's
So now, because it's backing up it on the higher level, right? You have this private trust that is over this ministry trust that is over this banking trust, right? Because the private trust at top, it's private and separate, but it holds all your family assets. You get what I'm saying?
So like the names of my children, my property, and whatever
Everything,
else. Yeah.
everything.
So
But
on
the
on that one
It's like
right.
ministry,
umbrella
but
insurance. It's
yes,
Yeah.
protecting everything underneath.
So
right.
the best way to do it is to have like a trust, like a diary trust that doesn't have an EIN, doesn't have anything. Then you put everything that's titled to your family, all the trusts listed in there, no EINs to any of that on that one particular trust.
Exactly.
You
But
have
the
God as
ministry,
the grantor on it, and if anybody wants to see it, that goes underneath that. You can do the God as your grantor on the 98 498 if you want, and that saves you from a lot of trouble as well.
And that would be the ministry one, right? Like the
So
501c or
no,
something.
yeah,
that would be your private. You could make God as the
grantor.
grantor for the both of them. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying? But
Yes.
the ministry one, the private one, God is the grantor. They have to talk to him. They're not. Nobody's going. Who's going to talk to him?
I talk to him every day. That's why I'm
No,
on
no,
here.
no. We're talking about commerce. If you really know the secrets
Oh, I
behind
see what you're
commerce,
saying.
they're not going to talk to him.
Yeah, I get
Alejandra,
you.
if you're gonna have a 508, right, you're gonna have to kind of figure out if you want it to be a ministry or if you want it to be a convention. And if you want it to be a ministry, they're both tax exempt, so you don't have to pretend to be a church or anything like that. So
That's why I'll say do a convention because you're not pretending
That's
to
what I
be.
want to do. Yes, I remember that. I wrote that down. A convention, faith-based ministry trust or something like that, right?
Yeah, you can do that too.
just call it a 508c1a, and it's if they ask you, it's just we're operating as a convention. You don't have to tell them that you're a ministry because they'll ask for your bylaws and your church, all
Yeah.
your church stuff, and then they're gonna have to categorize it. And they're gonna try to put you in a 501c3, which you're not gonna be. So never register with the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
Never.
Exactly.
So 50,
Just
it would be a 508(c) operating as a convention.
Yes, exactly. There you go.
and any of the documents you sign, you always put on the bottom it's we're operating as a 508c1a convention, and everything else is private. They don't need to know anything else.
Yeah, because then it protects the records because they don't have the access to them or something, right? Just like the Vatican or something, right?
Exactly. So now, because with that trust, you could say, for instance, you get in trouble with the law. You could, because of the jurisdiction of that trust, you could use that trust to go pull you from the cells. So now,
Almost like unserved.
and when I say you, I'm talking about your name. You get what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on. Roll that back.
So with that trust, that ministry trust, you're operating on a different jurisdiction because church and state always have ever played a part because now you're going to tell them, here what? I don't have the same jurisdiction. I got in trouble under a commercial trouble. Like say I get a ticket, but they put me in jail for it. I get a commercial trouble. That cannot play the same role under a ministry trust if that name is on their trust. Because it's different court. It's under trust. So now any asset that's under the trust has to stand as the person in front.
Y'all, I just went and got my ministry shit like 2 days ago.
So now they would have to put the trust in jail They can't put you in jail because you're just an asset under the trust. And because they're not going to do that, they're going to tell you to pay the penalty.
When I would write like a check that says paid to the order of the
Thank you.
without recourse, blah 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 blah, all that other stuff.
And then put the trust on it as the person who's paying it.
Wayne, can I ask you about some commodities when you're done?
Okay, no problem. Go ahead.
Okay, so when it comes to our trust assets, right? When we're doing business with like these banks and stuff that accept our agreements and stuff, can you set like if you accept lawful money, can you make that all lawful money gains interest type of thing by a certain percent? And if they accept that by law, can't you gain like a monthly income off of that?
All lawful money.
Yeah. I was planning on using money orders from the post office.
And what your intent to do with those money out of?
Well, it's lawful money. So I was trying to see if that can gain interest if I set it as one of my bylaws, as in like all lawful money gains interest by a certain percent. Because
But that's why we do the B with the miscellaneous.
okay, makes sense. But I'm
That's
just
your
saying for my
interest.
trust, just to gain interest every month.
That's your interest. Because now what you're telling them to do is pay to the order of the treasury. Because you have to sign that money order.
Right.
So now, if you understand how the treasury operate, they mature securities, and the treasury do 2 times the amount. So now it does gain interest. So now on the back end, this is where you're going with the miscellaneous and the B, because the money order is a cash value,
Right.
and that's why you use the miscellaneous file.
But the money orders, aren't they fractional money as well?
They're not fractional. They're standalone. Because when you're using a postal money order, it is actually lawful money, but it's a standalone. But when you pay to the order of the treasury, since the treasury is on a different jurisdiction than the post office, it makes that security gains 2 times the amount.
So it balances the books.
Exactly.
Okay. So there couldn't be no way I can hold those money orders in my trust as assets?
No,
Okay.
it wouldn't make sense.
What do
But
you do with bonds?
I would get a treasury bond and hold that in the trust. If you want something to hold.
Gotcha.
And
Like,
that's the commodity. So now I would hold it under, so I would look for the bonds that goes with commodities. Say it goes with gold, it goes with oil, it goes with corn. There is one that's on the stock market that has done good for years and nobody pays attention to it. I think it's peas or beans. One of them. Beans or one of them.
pork
It,
belly.
it has done great on the stock market, but it's hidden. Yeah, so I would look for those bonds that the treasury hold, and I would buy those bonds and do a treasury account with a trust, with my banking trust, and hold it under the banking trust. So every time that asset gains, because it is going to go up. I think it goes up 6% every year. So yeah, so I would just tender a payment to the treasury, or I would go get the money from my my birth certification, send that to the treasury under my trust account, and buy bonds from the treasury with that money. And then when it gains 2 times the amount, then I'll let it sit there for a while and gain that 6% on that money, and then take the interest out and just keep letting it roll over.
Gotcha. I want to, we're going to have to talk because I know someone who's using money orders. So I just want to show you the process to see how he's doing it, to see if it makes sense to you.
What about international money
That's what I'm
orders?
saying. Like there's a lot of way how to get to the doors.
Right.
What about international ones though?
Oh yeah, you could use internationals. International negotiable instruments, you could use those.
I've got two
I
of
would
them.
use it to buy. I would use it to buy bonds. They're gonna take it either way if you put your signature on it, and they're gonna securitize it. Securitization, that's a big thing. If we just got to look into what securitization mean and just get the depth of it.
Wayne, I sent you an email, by the way.
Oh yeah, I seen it.
The second one or the first one?
The first one, I didn't see the second one. I was going through cleaning up my emails because I get a lot of email from high clients. So I'm just saying.
I just wanted you to look over that. See.
Okay.
Can I ask a quick question because I'm falling asleep here. Not that you guys aren't interesting, I'm just exhausted.
Go ahead.
Do you guys record these anyway? I just wanted to ask that and something else.
Yeah, I post them on my YouTube usually.
Oh, okay.
It's connected through
And then
my
the other thing, it's connected through what?
my page here. You can go to my page and get straight to it, but it's my same name.
Oh, okay. So I want to listen to this one again. And then the other thing I wanted to ask, because I just discovered this a few days ago, and I'm afraid to push the button, but I went through it, but I didn't submit it. The Social Security office like updated their pages and stuff, and I don't know, but did anyone else see that? Like, I don't know how long it's been on there, but you can like change your status in the Social Security office, like online. Has anyone done that? And what does that do?
I'll do it tonight, but I haven't done it yet.
Great.
I'm ready. Get it without me.
Yeah, you can do
That's
it
a
right
good
on
question.
there.
That's a good question.
Like,
I've been waiting for this
you
question.
can, really, because you can print the paper and you can take it to the office. And I was going to do that because I want to do that for myself and my child. And I mean, what's it going to hurt? I'll be the first one to do it
I'll do
and
it.
see what
I'll
happens.
do it tonight. Call me Karma. I'm on it right now. Does it really say that?
Yeah, because they took
Yes, absolutely.
they're going digital.
Absolutely, it does.
They're going digital.
Everything is.
We're closed until 5 a.m.
Everything
guys.
has changed. If you go onto like the IRS stuff, all the websites have changed, and you can do all kinds of stuff now digitally.
Well,
But
I'm on the
But you can
Social
change your
Security.
status.
I'm on the Social Security website right now, and it says this service is not available at this time. Please try again during regular business hours, Eastern time. So, yeah, it says Social
You go to
Security.
My Social Security, you go to
Okay.
My Card, and you can change your status there, and you can turn yourself into non-cis.
Do you have to use your ID Me to log in, or you can just do it through the general?
You can do it through the general. You can do it any which way. You can do ID Me, MyGov, and then just your regular.
Call
And
me
before-
Karma. What did you say the website was? Sorry, Wayne.
No problem.
MySocialSecurity.gov. It's just Social Security off. It's just Social Security.
So, before you guys do it, get the instructions, read the instructions, read the fine print,
Yeah.
because what they realize is that you could use the paperwork, the SS5, to change your status. Everybody knows that, right? Wait, everybody knows that they could change their status with the SS5, right?
I
Right.
did.
That's
But
what I'm asking. Besides
wait.
doing the passport stuff, like, is that the quickest?
So now you don't want to use the digital version if you don't have to. Because you could just walk the SS5 into any Social Security office and tell them to send it to the department that update the status and get a certified copy.
So,
I'm hoping everybody's doing it like that.
Because then it's an instrument, right? Because then it means something. Because now it's on paper, and you can use a special color ink, and you can use all caps and all that other stuff, right? That's why you want like paper instead of digital.
Exactly, because now it shows the
Right.
upper and lower.
so I have a question with that.
That's where
SS5.
you talk about that name thing.
That, but also with that, I'll also talk about the SF-181 form, because that's another classification when you turn that in, because
You have to turn it in with the SF-181.
correct. But when you look at the SF-181, make sure you guys all look at the definitions of the race you pick. I'm just going to say that, because we all have origins somewhere, and all those sections don't have origins somewhere. So make sure you choose wisely of what you pick.
If
And
you
none
were,
of those races are you, actually. The white, the black, or whatever, the Mexican, those aren't real races.
if
Right.
you were born in America, you are Native American more. Down by the part where it says other, you put the word more. If you were born in America, you are a Native American more.
NOOR.
It doesn't actually say, I'm looking at it right now. It says racial category and it just says American Indian or Alaskan Native. Number 2 is Asian. 3 is Black or African American. 4 is Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander. And then 5 is white.
So right down the
You can
bottom,
write
you
it
do an
in.
amended and put Native American more, and click at the top where it says American Indian. Just
Right.
click
Okay.
that.
I'm going to ask probably a stupid question, but am I more?
Because of economics, you are.
That, and because read the definition of American Indian.
Right.
Okay.
Just read it.
If your feet touch the ground on the land terra here in the United States, not really United States, but the land here, you're Moorish.
And not in that sense, only because you have a birth certification. If you understand the United States and how they got their treaties and how they got their power vested to them, you would understand what I'm saying.
The Treaty
Because
of Peace and Friendship.
under the treaties, they had to take their power from something. Something was there before they got their power. Subsystem was there before they got their system.
Correct.
They're copying everything.
And they
They're
had to
not.
get permission.
They didn't create anything. They copy everything, and they had to get the permission from the
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 Moroccan Empire.
no it's a person. What is his title?
Is it no Badru Ali?
No, hell no.
The royal guy, what the hell's the name?
Yeah, I can't remember his title, but his title was over the presidency title. And that's why they always met in New York and Spilk, because that was the office where the boat office was. And now the UN holds that office.
Are you talking about Ryan?
I can't remember his name, but the reason why is because they took their system from the Moorish system, and they created birth certification on the same basis because of economics. So now if you have a birth certification and you were born in America, the Americas, not just one America, the Americas, you are a Native American more based on economics.
Gotcha.
And that's why you want to update your title to let them show, because they change us to these other lesser titles to steal our wealth. And they told us they were going to do it.
And then I have a question. Does that have to do with your American legacy stuff?
That has to do with your land and everything. That has to do with the land you hold, the title, your allodial title. Pretty much. Let's just put it out there. That has to do with allodial title.
Gotcha.
So now when you're doing a birth certification takeover, it's called a allodium.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is
I'm
that how we
just
get a
saying,
allodial title for our
huh?
properties? Is that how we get a allodial title for our properties?
Yeah, because you have to create it.
And you have to tie it to some kind of lineage. You just can't go in there and be a citizen and try to get an allodial title.
Right. They're not going to give it to a citizen because you have a lesser title.
No, but once we're Moorish, then it should be fine. And we have to file the SS5 and the SF181, right?
Right.
Okay.
And you don't want to be more-ish. You're just more. You're just going to put more on the paper. You're not going to put more-ish. You get what
More
I'm
is just a
saying?
little bit. More is full blooded.
You're just going to say more because more just mean great. It's a
And more
noble.
is more like MORE or MOORE?
MOOR.
Not
Got it.
Roger Moore, but MOOR.
Yeah.
Got it.
And everyone on the call, that has nothing to do if your parents was Irish or whatever. It has nothing to do with that. It
Right.
just has to do with title of nobility. And if you look into the word title of nobility, it tells you what I'm saying.
And you can change your birth date on that social security card, by the way. Okay.
I got to change mine for my CPN. I'm getting.
Well, I'm just saying because they have us on record as the filing date, not your actual birthday on your birth certificate.
Now, when you do that name change and you have the SS
181.
181 with the SS5 updated with the Social Security Office, you're gonna see I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody, if you go out this next week and go do this thing, you're gonna see how they operate with you, even the cops.
Mm-hmm. I wonder why. Because if you do a name change, that's your God-given name. It's your Christian name, which we're all supposed to have. But we're business names, which is non-de-gore, which is wartime. So that's why I keep stressing the name change.
Your first and middle is your Christian name. The last name is just a family of or whatever. It has nothing to do with you, really.
Yes, it has to do with your family name because even overseas, they call you by your last name first. Because
It has to do with your family estate. That's why it came
Right.
first.
Last name first is usually military when they do it that way.
only if it's all caps, buddy, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna speak about the name change. If you guys just do the designation of the title of nobility, they're not gonna tell you that's what it is, but I'm gonna tell you on the call what it is right now because I don't care. It's called a designation of title of nobility. The SF181 and the SS5 is gonna change everything for you. But Star,
Yes.
where you at right now in the postal process?
Pretty far.
What is stopping you from pulling these other triggers?
Waiting on the proper paperwork.
Like which one?
Like the, what is it, 20, hold on. The pink international return slips that go on the package, and then
Did you send it off to get the pink one?
I've got basically, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm waiting on that, and I was waiting to get my EPS account back to a good standing, but it is now, so that just happened today.
And I heard you talk about that earlier. I was listening in, but I hear you talk about that you it wasn't on good standing
Yeah, because I didn't, because my smart self didn't like fund the account first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to fund it first. It can't be on zero and all that good stuff. You live and you learn.
Yeah.
But I've got it. I mean, it's got plenty in there now.
So are they saying are they taking the remittance?
I've got to get the firm mailing book now. I've got everything coming. I actually had to go into the other post office, that the one that I went to a while back, another town away, and got the. I went up there today whenever I went and did my notary oath, and he had to send off for them, but he's gonna mail them to me.
Mm.
So either they're playing me or. I mean, I could print a firm mailing book, but I feel like you need the actual form.
Because you want to get the receipts.
Right.
Because you know the receipts carry weight.
But I'm like right there, just waiting on forms at this point.
They're gonna fight you on this process because that's what I learned. Yeah, it's a postmaster status you're trying to hold.
Listen, they have all of my money locked up except like $30. All of it.
Did you reach out to the postmaster? Ask them why?
Oh, it's not the post office. It's just everything. Like PayPal has a bunch of my money on hold. Square has a bunch of my money on hold.
And you have all those accounts in your regular name?
No, PayPal is in my business, my LLC, and the Square one is too. None of them are in my actual name.
Why did they hold your money? You know?
Because they said that there was too much money coming in the account, and because they hate me, I don't know, because it really wasn't even that much.
So transfer title to the trust.
Okay, and then what?
Transfer the give the trust the rights over the LLC, and then tell PayPal that they're breaking trust treaties and laws.
Okay.
Because now they're holding on to the asset of the trust.
Because I wrote them a nice little letter.
Just that's all you need to put in the letter. They're breaking trust treaties and laws, and if they want to go to court or settle with you for every day that they hold the receivables frozen, if they want to settle with you, they could settle with you, or if they want to go to court, then we could go to court, and which it's a bigger lawsuit.
Sounds like fun to me.
Yeah, when they see that you're not playing games to sue them, they like, you know.
Oh yeah, well the lady today, I was like, I want you to put this on the record that I'm putting you on notice right now. And she was like, okay. I was like, and can you send me a copy of that you're putting in the account? And can I have actually, first thing she did before she actually got hello out is I asked her for her employee ID number.
You should get the registered agent for PayPal and send everything to the registered agent.
Is that like withholding? Is that different than the withholding agent?
Yeah, because the registered agent has to it has to touch the registered agent hand first. Once it gets into the registered agent, and I'm finding out this so late in my process. But it's ridiculous when the courts do this thing. But once you give it to the registered agent, it's considered served.
Okay.
Then I didn't even know that. But once you give it to the registered agent, it's considered served because the registered agent have the job to process it to the proper department that it's supposed to go to. So now, they cannot say they never got it if the registered agent got it.
But yeah, I definitely know what you mean by they're not gonna make it easy because
You're trying to get a postmaster status.
I know. I mean, I haven't been on here complaining about it.
No, you haven't.
I was just telling you how the process is going for me, and it's real kind of shitty.
Yeah, yeah. It wears you out at times.
I mean, okay, I get more wearing out and shit, but like, damn, they're sucking me dry. Like they're not leaving me any funds, and I have funds. It's so frustrating.
So, use the trust to create more funds.
Well, if I knew how to do that, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in right now.
All right. All right. We definitely, it's long overdue. We definitely need to get on a one-on-one because
Yeah, we do.
it's long overdue. Great man, and you know what I'm talking about if you're still on the call.
He's probably like doing his SS5 or something.
I'm doing my SS5.
But you know what I'm talking about, Great man.
I couldn't. I was away for a little bit, but what were you guys talking about?
Yeah, I was telling her to use the trust to create more funds.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a talk. I know you say you were sleeping, but it's long overdue that y'all get on a call with me.
Hey, Big Wayne, I got a question. There's somebody in the comments named Princess talking about the difference between Moor, M-O-O-R, and M-U-U-R. They said if you use the word you claim M-O-O-R, you'll get put on a terrorist list. They said don't do that. They said use the word M-U-U-R. Have you ever heard of that?
I've never heard about that because they can't. More is an ethnicity.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So how you gonna claim that one ethnicity in the whole world is a terrorist?
I think what they did was they try to put you that the actual ethnicity under like a freaking sovereign citizen type of category. So every time you say that, everybody's claiming.
Now you're talking. So every time they use that sovereign citizen misnomer word with that word more, they're not talking about you, the Moor. They're talking about the sovereign citizen, the misnomer. And that's what they do. They play this word game.
Yeah, because if you look it up, like even underneath Brandon Joe Williams and then like James C. Levitt, I've noticed that now they have like the little caption that says like sovereign citizen. It's a movement of like, we don't want laws and we're trying to get out of taxes and, financial fraud. It's just crazy. But then if you also look on the FBI website says it too. So I just kind of wonder if it's, sorry, Wayne, I just kind of wonder if it's like, is it a deterrence for people like not even to look into it? It's like, ooh, it's a bad thing, that kind of thing, or?
They're slowly taking away everything you can say now, even ethnicities. They're trying to change it so they can reshape you in commerce. That's all they're doing.
Right. It's just like when
everything that used to be holy back in the day to all of us, everything that was whole that we believed in is all demonized now.
It's just like when they put the word white and black in place. Those words wasn't around. If you go way back, those words wasn't around. They're recent words. Misnomers. They put them in place to deter people. So
yeah,
now
people are going to look that up and for themselves though. Sorry, Wayne, I'll mute.
No. It's you're true. They just need to look it up themselves. Like they realize that every time they use these words, they always put a word behind it. Like they're not gonna call you by your name without calling you by that black person. Why you have to say the word black first? Just say the person. That's the thing. That's why they use the word sovereign citizen at the end of the word more.
Yeah, because the guy that pulled me over, the cop, he asked me, but he said it in such a condescending, he laughed and he was like, are you a sovereign citizen? And I'm just like, dude, like, you don't.
Exactly.
Like, geez, the idea here is just.
That's what they want to do. They want to put this title on you to make you seem like you're an enemy of the state. And I always break them down. Anytime they use that sovereign citizen thing with me, I said, "Sir, first of all, I know English language. I'm not stupid. You get what I'm saying? And I don't like the fact that you're using words to discriminate my title,
It's
to discriminate
defamation.
me."
Defamation of character.
Exactly, because that's a vile word. It's a misnomer. It's not even a proper word.
No, it's an oxymoron. But if you really look at it, as far as like people are saying that it's, people that don't want to follow the law or don't want to, that kind of stuff. And honestly, it's them.
Exactly.
It's not us. It's like they've deflected what they're doing and they've put it onto us and made it seem like we're sovereign citizens when we know that you can't be both. Pick one.
So, but the word more has been around for decades, and they know it too. They know this word. They're scared of that word more because it's not a light ethnicity. They have been fighting against that ethnicity for decades. And they got a treaty saying that they're not supposed to do it. And that's why they stopped. Because they realized they could do business. And who has the more money? The Moors. They're still around. They still have power.
Well, and I'll say this, I have jumped on certain lives and stuff like that just because I do hear the word more a lot. So I wanted to like educate myself on it. Like, okay, let me learn about what this is. And y'all, please don't come for me. I'm just, please. But from what I've gathered on certain lives is it's not the pale people. It's the melanated people. And like the pale people need to stand the hell down because it's the melanated people. And like, I totally get that. I get that. But now you're making, that's why I asked you earlier, like, who is this for? Because you're making it seem like it's for everybody.
It is.
And I was under the impression that you need to be a little darker than me.
No.
You're already melanated, Leah.
You need to have
You're
more
melanated.
freckles.
You're not translucent. All of us are melanated. So everybody that was born on this earth have different skin tones.
Do you
And
know how
we're all basically indigenous to the land.
do you know how they calculate the melanation of the skin tone?
Wow.
By wheat.
Yes, you did say that the other day. I mean, I'm pale as hell and I have freckles. So
But
I feel like my body tried to get melanin, but
Hey,
not.
Wayne.
you're a different shade of wheat.
Wayne.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
for any understanding of this agreement that we're talking about, you can look up the letter from George Washington to Sidi Muhammad, December 1st of 1789.
Exactly. That's a good letter.
And that's the letter between the Moorish Empire, or whatever we want to call it, the Moors, and George Washington to do, it's their friendship agreement, basically, to do business here.
Who was first? That's what we have to look at, and why the system works the way it works, and why they're doing what they need to do. It's just like a regular bank right now. We all know if we go to the Federal Reserve and read the Federal Reserve rules, that we knows the bank's not supposed to be doing what they're doing, but they're doing it still.
Right.
The government know they're not supposed to do what they do, but they're doing it still because they don't care.
Right.
Hey, Wayne, I looked up your equitable subrogation on the Black's Law Dictionary of 1891 edition. Man, you're always throwing that word around, and it talks about claiming back your stuff, basically, like what belongs to you.
I don't
Somebody's
want to talk
listening.
about that.
Somebody's listening.
You're blowing my mind here, and I'm like, I ordered that book, and I'm like, I want the first edition, the old used one that probably some granny had that doesn't know what she has.
I want
And
some railroad
But
books.
what is the basis of
Yeah, the
equitable
yellow.
subrogation? That's the real question. What's the basis of equitable subrogation?
It's in the meaning in that same book.
And it's also no, but it's also suretyship,
You have to express that.
right? And to get to equitable subrogation,
Oh,
In that book, I'm telling you, it's in the meanings. The meanings of the words, it's in there.
Alejandra, do you know a lady by the name of Ele something? She comes on TikTok. She has a mega file, and she has all of the Black Laws Dictionary in the PDF format. She just gives them all away.
No, but can you send it to me so that I can look it up? I just have that one.
hey, whoever's playing the music, can you mute yourself, bro?
CP. Well, yeah, I'll try to tag you with her information. Like I said, she has a lot of books, and she just you just gotta download like this thing called Megafile and download her books.
The three books you need is a Bouvier's Dictionary,
Yeah,
Black's Law, first edition, and American Jurisprudence. And it's going to tell you about equitable subrogation. We all want to play this equity game, and we all want to play this. I just need to claim back this. I just need to claim this asset. I need to claim that. These are the dictionaries you're supposed to go into because they're going to tell you how to do it.
what about Bouvier's or whatever?
Bouvier's is an amazing book.
But what about the railroad?
If anybody wants copies of them, DM me. I have electronic versions I can send you a link to.
Can we talk about the railroads?
Talking about transmitted railroads? Or are you talking about railroads?
I'm talking about why the freak is there a railroad retirement board number?
Yeah, because you are those people that worked on the railroad and they never got paid.
I am those people?
Hey,
Okay.
if you find out that you were one of them peoples, you got a lot of money.
What if you find out that you have a number to the board attached to your account?
You're just going down another rabbit hole to get that money.
I mean, I didn't mean to. It's attached to the account with the zero.
I know. I'm not saying you're doing something bad. If you do, you have, because remember, the railroad was attached to the mining roads.
So does everybody not
You
have
see,
one of those?
you see where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
No, do you really see where I'm going with that?
No, I don't.
The mining roads, we're talking about gold,
Gold. Okay, I get it now. I'm following. I'm tracking.
was attached to the railroads
Okay.
and letter of credit. So now, it's something to look into if you have a number, because it's somebody in your family worked with the railroad company.
Yeah, I've got the number for that, and then I've got my parent EIN, then a sole proprietor TIN. And
Hey,
this is
Wayne.
all-
Okay, there.
I have a question about I know some people are saying authenticate the birth certificate. Some people roll their eyes and say don't do it. Okay, so I did 3 of mine and don't judge it. Look, so I wondered, and I've heard this a couple times, on the front page, there is a number at the top of it. Is that an MLS number?
Are you talking about the one with the dash? It's like a dash. at the top.
After it, at the very end, and then there's one. Yeah, is that an MLS number?
Somebody who I didn't authenticate my birth certification like the way everybody else
I
did.
did.
Mine is from a different country. They don't do authentication.
They do apostilles.
apostilles. So now I didn't need to apostille my birth certification when I found out that the birth certification was a security bond. I just went straight ahead and dived straight into what is a bond and how to get this and how to retrieve this and how to do this, how to cash the bond in and how to do it. I just went crazy with the word bond.
Okay, so I have a question then, Leah. Are you wondering if that's the number to your full faith and credit that it titles on that front page?
I'm wondering what it is at this point because I've heard so many things, and from what I've gathered, that's the number that does put you to the full faith and credit. But then if you open up the first page, that first page also has that too.
Right.
So, but it makes sense to me that if we are all property, you know, because like if you do food stamps, you go to the agricultural department, right? Or if you do anything like, I was on a guy's live this morning that was saying that if you, oh my God, what did he say? It was some website that if you put in your number on the back of your social security card, it'll actually come up with a piece of land that is yours. I was blown away. So we're property, right? So in my head, it makes me think that if the birth certificate is authenticated, then that first number, is it an MLS number? Because the MLS would be connected to land, right? Am I tripping?
No, because I always wonder what that number was, and I've
Maybe
been
you're
trying to
not
figure it out.
tripping. But
Now your QSIP number?
so now, let me ask you a question. What you're gonna do with those authentications? What are your plans for those authentications?
Well, for one, if you travel outside of the country, you can just take that, right? And then the other thing is that, okay, so this is going to sound kind of stupid, but I thought it was pretty. Okay, that is a factor that I factored in there because I thought it was pretty and it was cute, and I'll look at my little birth certificate, all cute. And then the other one was to prove that I do have full faith and credit. As to like, if anybody saw it, they would know, I don't want to say who I am, but that I'm on this journey and like, I know what I'm doing.
I just want to say something.
You cash it in, no?
So what? That's the question I'm asking. Like, I'm trying to get to that question. Like, we're getting these birth certification. The first purpose of the birth certification is what? That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to see. It's a warehouse receipt.
Right. But for me, I felt like here's in my head, I understand that it's a warehouse receipt, but I was thinking that if I authenticate it, not that it's going to make it realer. I know that's not a word, go with me, but that it would make it more of like, it would make it, that sounds stupid. It would make it authentic. It would make it like, I don't want to say real because that's stupid too, but it would make it like, I don't know what I'm saying, but it's in my head.
I get what you're saying, but I want to get this across to you. Now that you have those, let's use this word. Now that you have the proof that it's as full faith and credit, what is your next step?
To be able to use it, to be able
Cash it in.
to,
Go cash it in.
Cash it
yeah.
in.
Go cash it in.
Yeah,
So,
because
so
it's a certificated security, so I feel
why
like
are we why are we traveling with it? It's not a travel card.
no, but you
We
can use
can.
it to travel it
We
internationally.
we
Right.
can do it, but why are we doing that with that? When
There's value
it's
in it.
it's supposed to operate as a security. It's for our benefit. That's why they give us the opportunity to get 10 a year.
Yeah.
So now, if I know my ability and I know that this birth certification have a CP number account that is tied to this thing and it has this money inside of it, why don't I go see what the value of that birth certification is and get the funds from it?
Well, you would get your well, I mean, you can draw them down through a QSIP or do I don't know. I have heard to do a 1099B on it. Didn't I hear that last night? Did you
Go
just say
through a
that?
broker.
No, I said go mortgage it.
No,
Go through a
well,
broker.
okay, talk about mortgaging it. Do that.
All right.
Like, talk about that.
All right. So now you're gonna get the mortgage document tied to that land, that is the birth certification because it's a property. And that's why he said if you do the back of your social, it has a piece of land because the birth certification and the social goes together, right? So now, if I know that my body is designated as land, I'm going to mortgage this land. If a land is sitting and you go buy from the bank, right? Don't they always put a mortgage on it?
Sorry, I'm giving my dog water. I'm listening.
I
So now, if we know that they do this thing, this is how they do it to create funds. I'm going to just follow the same procedure with the birth certification because I know it holds the same weight. And I want them to know that I know that it holds the same weight in their system because that's how they designate it as a real property bond. That's the purpose of the birth certification. It's a real property bond.
So you keep saying real property. It brings me back to
the
is the
MLS.
number at the top, is the number at the top an MLS number?
So wait,
It could be. That's why they put that number on there. I have never authenticated to get that number, but that number is your evidence of the account.
Go to a broker and find out.
isn't it when you authenticate it? I was going to answer. Isn't it verifying that there's an actual contractual relationship because you authenticate it and that birth certificate is a state employee or agent or whatever?
No, if you look at the meaning of authentication, it's just to make it just to prove that it's authentic or genuine.
But what's authenticated or genuine? Because there's a partnership here.
There's not a partnership with you though.
Yes, there is. You're the only one who can sign for it.
No, your parents can.
Well, there's
No.
a partnership between you and the Ensleges. It's you acting as,
It's a partnership.
yeah.
Wait. Are we missing the fact that we wasn't around? We didn't know what was going on when our parents got these birth certification.
Correct. But when you're at the age of
No,
18,
wait, stop. Who on this call has put it in the records that I am at the age of majority? With the Secretary of State, where the birth certification was created.
I did.
So you send it to the birth certification office where the birth certification was created?
yeah, your state, right?
I sent it to the Secretary of State.
So now, you see, this is my problem. Everybody has a different.
what?
So now,
You said it to the Secretary of State, isn't it? Ain't you transferring the funds to the Secretary of State?
you have to send it back to. You have to send the notice that you have reached the age of 18 and attach that birth certification and letting them know that I'm at the age of majority and I will be the one who's acting as executor over this document. Who have done that?
I done it with the Minnesota Rule 220.
You have done it to your state that your birth certification was created?
Yes.
Okay, so now what document did they send you back when you done it?
They sent me the cover letter. Because
What?
I'm from California, so I have to get our apostille first because we're not all we're not all a state. We're half republic. So we have to get our apostille first, and then they send you back with your certificate, and then you send it to Washington D.C. Then they send you that cover letter that she has.
What was the cover letter from the register?
It's from the. Hold on, let me pull my birth certificate. What do you mean by that, though?
I'm not talking about the authentication. I'm talking about the register. What was the cover letter that the register sent you? What was on the cover letter?
They didn't send me a cover letter.
Exactly. Most people have not done it properly.
Wayne, I feel like you're yelling. Are you mad?
No, I'm not mad. I'm just saying we're lost in the process because we've heard the process so many times from so many different people, but not taking the step back and says who this supposed to go to. But if I wasn't around when this was created, It was only created between my parents and the state. It means that my parents and the state has a contractual agreement. They stole it from my parents when they made my parents informant.
Then wouldn't you go back to probate? Wouldn't you inform probate that, hey, my guy?
You have to now you're talking. You have to take another step. There's a few more steps that you have to take to let them know that here what I'm at the age of majority and I am taking over these documents as executor.
So
And
go ahead.
go ahead.
So if you don't do that, why are we filling out any IRS Form 56s and 2848s then?
Because we have a social.
Okay. But isn't the social attached to the birth certificate?
The social and the birth certification, they're one in difference, but they one in the same. So now understand that they're still mixing public and private. They're doing this same game that we're trying to do right now.
That's what I was always told.
Yeah, that's
that
because
one
it's
of the
legal
birth
title
certificates-
and your trust estate. You have your legal interest and your equitable interest, right?
Yeah, because it's two different companies still.
Correct.
So the companies they operate in one in the same because it's one system, but they're still different.
And you can't use one without the other.
You can use one without the other.
Individual negotiable instruments.